That's a whole lot of lings for this stage of the game, and I don't know if Effort's looking to do something of a late game run by or what, but he's managed to whittle down Sangho's force enough, and that door at Sangho's natural expansion not looking all that heavily defended. It's got only 2 cannons there still, and Sangho's kind of been slowly bleeding units this whole time, so I don't think Sangho's been playing quite impressively enough, and that's a pretty long conga line of Hydralisks on the way over. I'm also a little bit surprised that we're keeping on seeing Archons and drop already. Wow. I think Effort's already loaded up for a Hydralisk drop, and that's really early. We're only about 9 minutes into the game, so he's been able to mass a bunch of units, research Overlord speed, research drop, throw down a Spire, get his hatchery upgrades. I'm pretty impressed that Effort's managed to pull this one off quite this quickly, and the back of Sangho's base is totally empty. This is going to hurt a lot. So here come the Zealots on the move, but it looks like he might even lose his main Nexus, and very cleverly by Effort, he's dropped in 2 places, so Sangho is going to have a pretty difficult time cleaning up both of these drops in time. It looks like he's going to be able to save his main Nexus, but looks like his mineral-only third is going to get destroyed here, and that's going to hurt Sangho a lot. Kind of interested to see what Effort's doing as well. He's not using this opportunity to set up a 4th of his own. No, he's dropping the natural now too, so he's dropped all 3 of Sangho's bases in the last minute, and this has got to be pushing Sangho's micromanagement capability to the limit. Also, those early pushes toward getting Archons meant that there were fewer High Templar around to have Storm to defend against these Hydralisks, and I am still a little bit unsure as to why Sangho kept going Archons. I mean, sure, there were a lot of lings on the ground. He had the scout in, he had to have known that Hydralisks were coming, so Sangho's economy is in really bad shape right now, and more drops coming in. And I think this is a really cost-effective and sensible way for Effort to play this, because each time he makes one of these drops, so far he's come out pretty far ahead on all of it. He's lost a bunch of units, but he's managed to keep Sangho contained while he's getting a 4th base up over by the 1 o'clock position, so he's going to improve his own economy, and any units he takes out is just gravy at this point, so Effort's putting on some pretty relentless pressure with all these drops, and I think sooner or later either Sangho's not going to be able to keep up with this, or he's going to make a mistake under all the pressure and just crack, or there's going to be a tech switch that's going to problematize things even more for Sangho, and we're starting to see lurkers morphing, and I think that might well be it, because I didn't see any. Well, I think there was a robotics facility over at the Natural, but it's just going to be more different sorts of units that Effort can throw at Sangho, and that Sangho's going to have to deal with. I don't see an Observer with that group, but the Templar was able to just storm that Lurker away, but Effort's just continuing to drop all over the place. This is both hilarious and fantastic. I'm really getting a kick out of this constant high-pressure style, and he might even try to snipe that robotics facility to keep the Observer numbers down. So this is really top-class play from Effort, and it's, I wouldn't say it's showboating, but it's definitely some crowd-pleasing stuff. And even though it's not seeming to have all that much bearing on the game, he's also scourging Corsair, so Effort's just all over the place. He's microing circles around Sangho here, and I really am at a loss as to how Sangho is going to get himself back into this. His main isn't mining. I don't see any probes at his natural. This is just a really neat thing to watch. Just a high pressure style for effort that's really working out very nicely for him. Now another drop at the main, I think just a 1 Overlord drop, but that's forced all of the probes to flee. Sangho's economy is terrible right now. I'm amazed he's managed to put out even this small strike force of units, but effort's got so many lurkers and hydralisks that this is going to just ridiculously overmatch Sangho. And speaking of, there's the GG. Sangho's looking pretty stunned there, and I dare say I think a little bit relieved that he just doesn't have to deal with any more of that constant in-game pressure. Effort going to, I guess, 21 out of his last 24 games. Very impressive, 7 out of 8, so he's won 87.5% of his last of his games in his last 24. That's unbelievable. Sangho just walking back to his team thinking like, what could I do there? GG. Ace match coming up. This is going to be exciting. See you then.